Hello today, hello tomorrow, hello all the time. Another MERCS video. I've missed doing quite a few so far, but we're going to try and keep on track and do the rest of the factions. So today we are doing, or I'm going to tell you about, the C.C.C faction. Now the C.C.C themselves are North American from California, Cincinnati, and I can't remember the other one. That's what the three C's stand for. Their main sort of thing that makes them stick out from any other faction is the fact that they go for flexible steel, which is in their armour, and a lot of structures, I would imagine. That's why they have a fair bit of money. Also, the weapons used by the MERCS contracted to the C.C.C. Use ammunition which is given to the, traded to them by the SDAFU. That's why they're called the dime cutter weapons, because their weapons use diamond tipped ammunition. So that's the front of the deck, which you can buy separately if you don't want to buy the starter set, which I'll just say this, in my opinion for now, that C.C.C is a very starter friendly faction if you're just a beginner. It has the heavy assault on the front, a very nice picture. So I'll get onto the models with their cards. So we'll start with the leader. I've just bring him under scope, as it were. I know the detail's not as good as on some, but it's mainly because I've tried to do something slightly different to what they have. I've tried to keep to their own but do it a bit different. Those of you who have looked on the MERCS Recon Kickstarter will notice that the model for the leader is very different and looks a lot better than this one, even if it wasn't painted, I have to say myself. The base I've done like a seaside beach sort of effect with water on one side, beach on the other, you know, coming in by naval craft or something. So that's the model. As far as I know it's one piece, but I'm not sure because I got these off eBay, so I'm not entirely sure on that respect. So if we just get the card for the leader. So he has 2 MP, reaction of 7. Go through all the other videos, it'll show you what everything means. He has a melee, strength of 1. Sorry, +1 to melee and strength of 1. 3 blood. Courage, if you can see that, of 3. ER of 2. And repair of 6. And bracketed of 5, which we'll find out. He's got a semi-auto, fairly standard, strength FN7, weapon strength 2, 2 attacks versus 1 target, fire and move, all the standard stuff. And he's also got a pistol, just so we can attack in close combat. Then again, he can also attack in close combat, so pistols neither here nor there. He's also got 1 MPA grenade, which can be very useful. Range of 2, like most grenades. He only has 1. Armour failure check +2, which against certain factions is very, very useful. Now if we look at the bottom, armour value 2, fairly standard so far. Armour failure of 2. For C.C.C that's pretty standard. So in the corporate abilities, which for the entire faction is Nanite Armour, -1 to repair rolls, self-heals after 2 rounds, which, you know, is kind of, well, it is pretty good. I'll explain why it's not when I get to my opinion of the faction. Oop. So I've not done this for a bit, that's why the camera's a bit wobbly. Reliable, low armour failure rate, that's why it's armour failure of 2. So his personal abilities: leadership is the leader, +1 to all rolls for allied mercs within 1 card length, which pretty standard for a leader. He's also lucky, can negate 1 success per match, which means once per game he can negate 1 successful hit on him. That does include if the nuke lands on him. If you go through all the other videos, me and my mate John did the Kaizawaza faction first, so if you go to that one it will show you what the nuke does. So it can negate the basic hit from the nuke. So go to the heavy next, and there's something I need for this. There we are. So just get the model, which is really the best one of the lot. There we are. Yeah, there used to be 2 side bits on there and 1 on that side, about the same side. I accidentally broke them off. Well, I broke one off and then I decided it didn't look right, so I broke the other one off. I think it looks better without them, to be honest. If it focused properly. There we go. Again, I didn't put these together. I think the chain you have to put on, if I believe correctly, and that arm, and possibly the backpack as well. So I think it's the most fiddly of the lot, but pretty good model. Has a minigun. So go to the card. We have the heavy assault. MP of 1, so it's very slow. Reaction of 4. Melee of +1. Strength of 2. Bracket 3. Well, little circle of 3. Courage of 5. ER of 2. Repair of 6. Repair of 7. Bracket 6. That's for the corporate ability Nanite Armour, really. That's why it's bracketed of 6. 3 blood, pretty standard so far. Well, for a heavy anyway. So we'll go to the weapons. Full auto, FN of 8, weapon strength of 3. Is a heavy. Most heavies are weapon strength of 3. Can't fire in melee, as you'd have expected. CCM, set and rip, must stay set for 1 round. 3 attacks on target, on all targets, in the extended T firing zone. Now if you look at the diagram, you'll see how the T works. It's 3 cards put together and then extends as far as the eye can see. So I'll just explain how that really works. It's like that. So if I just demonstrate with the model. I'll just zoom out. Like that. If you notice the little model in the corner. Right there. So it's got a long range on it. So what else does he have? Zoom in a little bit. Let it focus. There we go. Arm value 3. Armor value 3. You know, he's got good stuff. The set and rip does offset it, and he is slow. But he can dish out a lot of firepower. His personal abilities, won't go through the corporate ones, they're all the same. First one, Wall of Lead. +1 to target suppression rolls. And as it's a template, it does suppress anyone in the template, so There's a lot of tactical use to this. And Brawler, that's why it's a little circle of 3 on his melee, +1 to melee damage. So he's not too bad in combat. Next is the Sniper. One of the best snipers in the game. Oh, here is the model. A nice looking sniper rifle. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but his hat is green, a dark green. Yeah, I haven't done his eyes. I really can't do eyes, unfortunately. On his back, you'll see he has a pistol. I believe the backpack you have to glue together, and I think that's it, if I'm not mistaken. So, we'll get the card. And it goes like this. MP of 2, so pretty quick for what he is. Reaction of 5, so fairly quick. Blood of 3, he has no combat abilities as of yet. Courage of 5, ER of 2, Repair of 7, brackets 6. So, you know, nothing too bad so far. LRK, long range kill. FN5, weapon strength 4. 1 attack versus 1 target, not short range. CCM, load and aim, 2 rounds between shots, which you might think's a bit long, but it's strength 4. That's going to hurt everyone. It is the powerfulest ranged weapon in the game. No other weapon is strength 4 standard. You can get bonuses to strength, but nothing is strength 4 without increasing it somehow. And he also has a pistol, which, getting close, weapon strength 1, it's not bad. Armour 1, most snipers are armour value 1. There's a few that's armour 2, but not many. Armour failure 2. Pretty standard for the C.C.C. and his personal abilities, which are pretty good as it goes. Oh, there we go, focusing again. Crack shot. Can score 1 success per match, so it can auto hit someone. Now, it's probably best to wait until someone's on 1 wound to do that, like another leader or the behemoth or someone. Because it's gonna be a very situational thing. Use it too early or too late and it's going to be a waste. And stealth, -1 MP, considered to have half cover. Now that doesn't increase to full cover if you are actually in cover, but you move slower, targets are harder to hit you, which is pretty good. A pretty good model overall, and a pretty good sniper. So next we have the medic. If I just bring him up. Of all the models, he is the most generic, but when they first released this game, he was used as just the assault for the medic and the demolition, because they didn't actually have the demolition model at the time. That's why, if you see there, he has a grenade. Pretty nice model. If you look, the head's a bit fatter. That's because I had to do something about the green stuff, because the head was not facing the right way. That's why it now looks a little lopsided. But still, I don't think it's too bad for what I did. So his card. MP of 2, little circle of 3. Reaction of 6, melee +0, strength 1. So he's not amazing in combat, but who is? Courage of 5, ER of 2, Repair of 6, brackets of 5, and 3 blood. He has a semi-auto, which, if you've seen semi-auto, if you've seen the other videos or watched this video so far, you'll know what semi-autos do. FN7, movement 5, that sort of thing. Medkits, because he's a medic, funnily enough. He has 3 of them. Restores 1 blood, and you have to be in base contact at the start of the medic's activation before you use the med kit. Though you could snap to the target who you want to use the med kit on, and then use the med kit. Also, using the med kit is using your action, so you can't move and use a med kit. Armour of 2, armour failure of 3, so not too bad. Medic restores 1 blood if decent with med kit, which I've just said. I don't know why the card repeated me, but there we go. Speedy, plus 1 MP, so it's very, very fast. Next we have the demolition. I think, yes, the demolition. Let's get the model. I really should have shifted the head so it's looking in the right way. I've done a video before, if you go back and look, on front and rear arcs, and in this model it's very hard to tell. So whereas